you obviously had a crazy experience during the pandemic when it came to GameStop, right? And it just, as fate would happen, the GameStop situation came back up again last week. So last time we spoke about, you know, the issues that you guys had as far as stopping trading and all the different things that people weren't fully aware of. And you kind of gave a very detailed explanation on that. So my question is now, it's a two-part question. How do you see in general this meme stock craze? Do you think it could ever have the potential to reach heights of the pandemic? And what did you learn from the last experience that you are prepared for this time around if it reaches that level, to not have people, you know, complain, locked out of their accounts, not able to trade, stuff like that?
Yeah, well, to answer the second question first, I think that in moments like these is when you see the improvements that we've made in the technology, the infrastructure, the customer service, the education. I mean, there were instances last week during the height of the frenzy that other brokers had significant downtime or outages, and Robinhood was not only reliable and available at those times, but we were also one of the only places that you could trade these stocks 24 hours a day. So there's a new product that we rolled out about a little bit over a year ago called 24-hour market, which allows the trading of over 900 single name stocks 24 hours a day, 5 days a week. And so the interesting thing about this was not just that Robinhood was available, but we actually introduced a new innovation into the trading market that was very, very important during this time, because actually the first inklings, when I first heard about this latest meme stock frenzy, was Sunday night, because people were posting Robinhood screenshots of the stock prices, and we're one of the only places that's actually open for trading Sunday night. And so I think it really started there and continued through the market open, but really continued 24 hours a day throughout the whole last week. And kind of that's the element that I'm most proud of here. It's not just the reliability, but through this, the word gets out that Robinhood's, again, the leader in innovation. And now markets are 24-hour in a way that they weren't a few years ago. And traders have access to this new tool and new technology. And I do believe that in the future, it should become more standardized, and markets should be 24 hours. Settlement should be real time. And Robinhood needs to continue to lead the way there. And remind me your first question. You asked two questions.
The first question was just, in general, do you think that, you know, it has the potential to reach the level that it did a couple years ago, just as far as, like, you know, the meme stock craze? Like, you know, what's your opinion on just the meme stock craze in general, the second wave of it?
Yeah, I mean, these things are hard to predict, and we don't actually see all of the market participants. We're kind of just observing the activity in many ways, like you guys are. So I don't know what level it's going to get to. Certainly, things have the capability of going viral on social media, and you started to see a little bit of that. I mean, my relatives reached out because they saw, you know, Roaring Kitty in the news, and they're like, "Uh-oh, what's going on? Are you guys doing okay?"
Here we go again.
I remember last time, but yeah, a lot of it. I mean, we just have to be reliable and robust and prepare for it happening. But yeah, as to whether it does happen, that just depends on things that are outside of our control, really.
As CEO, what's the biggest career lesson that you've learned up until this point that you wish you knew from the very beginning when you started?
Ooh, yeah, that's a really big one. I've learned so many. Every day has new lessons. I think if I had to sum it up, it's that I think it's important to be authentic. You know, a lot of times, especially as a public company, you have to project an image of almost being like an actor and portraying what you believe a public company CEO should be saying and doing. And I think, you know, I've had much more success when I say what's on my mind, authentic to me, and just have my own style, and not to try to be an actor, you know, playing the role of a public company CEO, because I'm not a very good actor, to be honest.
One of the things you talked about is the active trader. And so you said that trading 24 hours is something that has helped the retail trader, especially on your platform. We've seen other platforms try to do it. I know that I'm on a few that have recently implemented it, not on 900 single equities, but you know, they've introduced probably 12.
Yeah.
That speaks to another form of trading, which is cryptocurrency, which is also 24 hours a day. Talk about the importance, because we know in the first quarter, Shadi, you know, referenced the amount of increase that the stock has seen. A lot of that had to do with retail traders inside of cryptocurrency. We saw crypto go to 70,000. We already, you know, have documented the Bitcoin halving. Talk about the importance, and was there a shift to it because of the influx of cryptocurrency being 24 hours?
Well, I think there was a shift to it because we pushed for it, and someone has to be the prime mover and actually go through the work of making it available. And then, you know, the market makers get involved at that point, and it creates a two-sided market. And then, you know, the exchanges you see are now interested in it as well, because they see that there's retail investors trading, there's market makers that are providing liquidity. And so, you know, things have to get started, but usually if there's enough activation energy, they continue on. Regarding crypto, I think that there's sort of a veneer of meme coins and sort of like silly things that give crypto perhaps an unfairly negative reputation among some people. But I think underlying some of these projects and some of these layer one chains, there's extremely sophisticated technology that can actually help save costs and improve the experience and lower risk in the traditional financial system. So, for example, there is an initiative that we helped really lead and push for around real-time settlement. So stocks right now settle in 2 days. So after the trade is made, the actual shares and money move over a 2-day period subsequent to that. And that's changing to 1 day at the end of this month. And eventually it'll get to real time. But this is like a big coordinated technology problem where decades old firms that are running on mainframes have to upgrade. And so it's sort of slower than it should be for primarily that reason. But if you look at crypto, settlement is instant. All of it's done in software. You can cross-collateralize and lend against assets that are on the same blockchain pretty easily. Tokenizing things is fairly easy. You see that with the stable coins, like USDC, for example, or even the rise of Tether on alternative networks like Tron in certain countries overseas where the local currency has been decimated by hyperinflation. You see those becoming very, very popular. And it's in some ways easier to get. I mean, in pretty much all ways, it's easier to get than traditional dollar bills in these markets. So I think you're starting to see real use cases where if we were to adopt this technology and allow firms to build on top of it, the costs of producing a financial company or offering a product to customers safely goes down by at least 10 times. And so that's why I think it's important. I think it could actually move the industry forward. It's another frontier of innovation. And I think for those reasons, the US needs to be a leader in this space. I think it's incumbent on Robinhood and the other players in the industry to push for the world where that's the case. We don't want, I'm a European as well. We don't want the Europeans to continue leading in regulation here, but that's kind of what's happening in the world of crypto.